In this video, we will be looking at the Green Line, or Line 1 of Montreal's metro. Line 1 is the primary east to west cross-city line of the metro. The line is comprised of 27 stations and is 22.1 kilometers in length. The line opened to the public on October 14, 1966 with the Atwater to Papineau section, and then Papineau to Frontenac on December 19, 1966. The two major expansions opened many years later, with Frontenac to Honoré-Beaugrand on June 6, 1976, in time to support the 1976 Summer Olympics at P9 and VO stations, and finally Atwater to Angrignon on September 3, 1978. Since that time, there has not been any further expansion of the Green Line, and there are currently no active plans to do so. The line is primarily served by the Bombardier Alstom MPM-10 Azur metro trains, although it is possible to see a couple of Bombardier MR-73s operating on the line concurrently with the Azur. Before their retirement, the Canadian Vickers MR-63 also operated on the line. As the line has 27 stations, this overview video is split into two, with the current video covering Angrignon to Saint-Laurent and the second continuing from Berry-UQAM to Honoré-Beaugrand. Let us look at the stations of the Green Line. First is Angrignon, located at the western terminus of the line. It has only one entrance and it is very grand. The top of the station is covered with many domes that consist of windows held by beautiful red frames to create a stunning effect. The fact that this theme also extends to the bus station that is attached to the station just makes it even more spectacular. When you enter the mezzanine, it has the same level of awesomeness since the ceilings all consist of domes and glass windows, which brings light in between those red frames. It is also very large, which is always useful for terminal stations, especially those that have bus terminals associated with them. The platforms are also illuminated by natural light as they are at ground level, and a large portion of the walls are made of windows, with the top row using similar round shapes as the domes above. Again, the red frames are the only other material vertically, with the horizontal frames being covered with the black station name bars that can be seen in all stations. Station Manque. This station has two entrances, both very similar in beautiful dark brown bricks. The entrances are relatively small compared to other stations in the network, but once inside, it quickly becomes clear how big the station is. The view from the escalators is beautiful, further accentuating the size and scope of the station cavern. The walls at the bottom are, contrary to the rest of the station, grey. At the left of the escalators is a convenience store. The platforms are completely brown from the walls to the floors. The colors are beautiful, yet, when you look closely, the walls do show their age. Germain Bergeron made sculptures in painted steel called pic et pelle, which is located on the overpass. It is in honor of the workers who built the metro. Station Jolicoeur. This station takes the shape of a large hall the size of a two-story building, with tinted windows all over. The mezzanine is very large and very practical. There are doors on both sides of the entrance, and passengers who enter will quickly find their way, as on one side is the convenience store and on the other the turnstiles, which lead to the platform stairs. Like Angrignon, the station is not that deep, so no escalators are needed. And like Angrignon, the station receives natural light on the platform from the mezzanine windows above. The platforms are very nice, with walls covered with vertically installed grey bricks. The black station name bars are installed on red placeholders that add just the right amount of color. The floor has some orange triangles pointing to the track inside black circles, even though, contrary to what may be expected, they do not point to where the train doors will be located. The benches are red, and the ends of the platforms on both sides of the tunnels are painted orange. Station Verdun. The station has two entrances, with both entrances in the black tone, and feature lots of tinted windows like those at neighboring station Jolicoeur. Once you go in, you will take two sets of stairs or escalators to reach the ticket barriers. While on the first stairs, you will get to see grey walls with purple and orange line motifs, while the second one has yellow barriers on the right, which also match the bars that hold the lights suspended from the walls. Passing through the ticket barriers, you reach what could be qualified as a balcony, as it gives access directly to the platforms, and is also an ideal location for train spotting. Stairs will lead you to both platforms, which have the same matching lines as most of the station, again in purple and gold, while the floors are made of white tiles. The station has a forced perspective over the platforms and tracks, as the ceiling gradually becomes lower on the west side of the station from the east. Antoine Lamarche created bas-reliefs, which are lines on the upper part of the concrete walls of the station. Since the lines are in all kinds of directions, it creates an original pattern, on which yellow bars can be seen holding out the lights, creating a nice overall result. Station de l'Église. The station has two separate entrances accessible through an underground concourse after the fare gates. While many stations have a primary entrance, both feature a very similar design, though the entrance on de l'Église is noticeably larger. Access to each platform is done through various sets of escalators from the common concourse. Like Charlevoix station further down the line, the tracks are stacked, one over the other, with the Angrignon platform being the fifth lowest on the network, at 84 feet underground. This design decision was implemented during construction as the soil collapsed on March 20th, 1974 during the excavation of the station. Originally, de l'Église was meant to have traditional side platforms at the same level. Due to its configuration, de l'Église is one of the few stations where doors open on the left side for both directions. The art installation called bas-relief was designed by Claude Desberges. Throughout the escalators and entrances to the station, patterns engraved in the concrete walls give a sense of movement as you wander the station. This is accentuated by the lighting above most of the walls. Station La Salle. The station is named after nearby La Salle Boulevard and not the borough, as it is not located in La Salle. In 1984, a name change to Curé-Case was approved by the Montreal urban community before the amalgamation of the many cities on the island, to better reflect the area in which the station is located. Ultimately, the change was never enacted, with La Salle keeping its original name. The station is the recipient of an Award of Excellence by the Canadian Architect magazine. La Salle has only one entrance, located on Quai Street. Caniculated concrete is used throughout the station, which is a feature often seen in other Green Line stations. This is done to emphasize the slant in the walls that is reminiscent of former factories that occupied the area. Like Verdun, the platforms have a forced perspective as the ceiling gradually lowers in steps at the end opposite the mezzanine stairways. Station Charlevoix. Charlevoix station has only one entrance, located at the corner of Charlevoix and du Centre. To deal with the ground conditions at the station's location during construction, like what was found at de l'Église, the station is built with stacked platforms to reduce the overall footprint of the station and the excavation needed. Charlevoix is the deepest station on the entire Montreal Metro, with the Honoré Beaugrand platform 29.6 meters or 97 feet below ground. Due to its depth, the platform is below sea level. To access the platforms, one goes down two banks of escalators, and depending on the direction of travel, one might need to go down an additional set of stairs. Due to the compact layout of the entrance and its access shaft, the station has two stained glass windows surrounding a light shaft that illuminates the escalators. They were installed at the station's opening and constructed by Mario Merola and Pierre Ostarath. Brilliant, sparkling light shines through all day long and casts multicolored patterns onto the escalators and stairs, something worth experiencing on a bright sunny day. Beyond its two stained glass windows, the station is rather bare, making great use of bare concrete and bricks. At the platform level, patterns are created by the exclusion of certain bricks on the walls. Station Lionel Groulx. Lionel Groulx is one of the four transfer stations of the Montreal Metro, serving both the green and orange lines. The main destination around the station is the Atwater Market. There's only one entrance, at 620 Atwater Street. The station was initially going to be called Albert, but following the death of Lionel Groulx, who was a Roman Catholic priest, His name was given to the station before it opened. In recent years, there have been requests to change the name. Jazz pianist Oscar Peterson has been suggested as a possible replacement because he grew up in the surrounding area. The station has 2 central platforms, although technically each line has stacked platforms, as is made to facilitate transfers so that passengers can switch lines without taking the stairs. Passengers going downtown can switch on the lower platform, and those going to the western parts of the lines can switch on the upper platform. Transfers between the green and orange lines are quicker to do here than at Berry-UQAM, thanks to the station's layout mostly being designed for cross-platform transfers, rather than a multi-level change at Berry. Lionel Groulx is also better arranged than Snowdon, which has a similarly designed layout, as most passengers transferring at Snowdon need to take the stairs, as that station was built assuming that Line 5 would be expanded to the west, which never happened. It is one of the stations where the architecture is most worth seeing. With its unique orange patterned floors as well as granite walls and ceiling, it is truly a classic. It gives the impression that you are not in a subway station, but rather a large complex where the subway just happens to enter and pass through. Lionel Groulx was built as a transfer station from the start, yet it opened on the Green Line first in September 1978 and later on the Orange Line in April 1980. Station Atwater. Atwater Station is the original western terminus of the Green Line, from its opening in 1966 until the extension to Angrignon in 1978. Until 1996, the station was very popular, as it was the one that hockey fans took to go see the Montreal Canadiens play at the Forum. There are 2 entrances to the station. However, it is possible to also enter through Place Alexis Nihon and the Westmount Square. The station has 2 side platforms. The main colors of the station are beige, light gray, and brown. The walls are made of bricks alternating between these colors, and the ceiling is relatively low. As well as having been an original terminus station, it also had the distinction of being one of only 2 original stations, along with Longueuil on the Yellow Line, that were outside of the city of Montreal, as it is in Westmount. Station Guy Concordia. The station was originally named Guy for the street on which it is found. However, in 1988, it was renamed Guy Concordia to recognize that it serves the Concordia University campus. The station has 2 entrances, both integrated into other buildings such as the university. Since 2010, all main buildings of Concordia University's campus connected underground to the Guy Concordia station. On the mezzanine level, there's a fair number of retail outlets, including coffee shops and more. The station's layout is straightforward. Once through the fare gates, additional escalators bring passengers down to the lower level, where they can reach either platform by way of an overhead walkway. The access to the platforms has additional visual appeal, as there are bright red, yellow, gray, and black ceramic tiles on the floor and walls by the stairs. The stairs also reach the platforms about 15 to 20 feet ahead of the end of the train, which is rare in the metro. After the stairs, the visual look changes to a more standard gray and white tile floor and wall arrangements along the rest of the platform. The bright red colors return for the seating areas and seats themselves. One unique aspect of this station is the fact that it was the first metro station to be designed by the city's architects. As such, a lot of the design elements used in other stations of the original metro network were first developed here. The station is always among the top 5 busiest stations on the metro system due to its downtown location and its connection with the university it serves. Station Peel. The main color of this station is white, and the theme of the station is circles. 54 large circles were made by Jean-Paul Mousseau throughout the station. Today, 37 remain. They are integrated everywhere, with bright circles next to advertising panels, as well as ceramic circles in one entrance and circular tiles on the floor and walls. With many of these circles being bright colors on a white backdrop, this gives the station plenty of light and makes it animated, no matter the time of day. The walkway over the track is very low, and you can feel the wind made by the trains much more when you walk there than in other stations. There are 4 official entrances to the station, and it is also part of the Montreal Underground City, or Réseau, which makes it easy to enter from many points of access underground. This station sees many passengers use it daily due to its downtown location and proximity to many shopping malls, including Les Cours de Montréal, as well as St. Catherine and Crescent Streets. This station is special because it is the shortest distance between 2 stations, Peel to McGill, at 300 meters, which is 2 platform lengths. The proximity is so close that when a train stops at McGill, you can easily hear and see it from Peel. Station McGill. This station is named in honor of McGill University, which got its name from its founder, James McGill. While most stations of the network are easily recognizable over the years, McGill has changed colors many times. Its original colors were orange pillars with yellow on the walls. In the 90s, the pillars were changed to green, and the station also had shades of burgundy. But then, an advertiser which had orange as a primary color of its brand took much of the advertisement in the station and had the pillars changed back to orange. The station is the busiest of the network due to its downtown location and direct access to many shopping landmarks, including the Montreal Eaton Centre, Place Montréal Trust, Hudson's Bay, and Place Ville-Marie. It also gives access to the Montreal Underground City, Réseau. McGill University's 40,000 students also add to the many passengers utilizing the station. There are several stores inside the station, including fast food and other small retailers. 2 interesting historical facts are that this station used to have a library in it until 1996. The station was also featured along with Place des Arts and Beauderie in C'était ton tour, Laura Cadieux, a 1997 Quebec movie. Station Place des Arts. It was named in honor of Place des Arts, the famous performing arts center hosting a variety of cultural events including theater and music, which is attached to the station. In addition to its namesake, this station is also in proximity to Complexe des Jardins, which includes a shopping mall, a hotel and office, as well as Édifice Jean Lesage, which is the headquarters of Hydro-Québec. The station has 2 side platforms and is beautiful with blue and gray brick walls created in a zigzagging form, mixed with floors whose colors alternate between light gray and green. There are 4 official entrances to the station, as well as the interior connection from Place des Arts and the Réseau. The station is home to the first piece of art of the Montreal Metro, which is a painted glass mural by Frédéric Bach, entitled Les Arts Lyriques, and refers to Montreal's musical history and events. There's also a glass mosaic made by Seguin over the Angrignon tunnel. Station Saint-Laurent. Saint-Laurent's overall layout is simple, with only 1 entrance and an easy-to-follow path to reach the mezzanine and platforms. Originally, the station was planned to have additional entrances. However, to this day, the single entrance remains the only one, despite plans for development around the station servicing from time to time. This station is freestanding and not integrated into any building, a vast contrast to most other downtown stations on the Metro. The station is quite plain in its appearance and amenities. The interior consists mostly of various shades of beige, with a few accents in red on the platforms. The station was built cut and cover and as a result is quite cavernous, so much so that it feels quite a bit larger than it needs to be. One interesting aspect of the station is the limited number of seats on the platforms. 2 sets of seats located one next to the other and positioned underneath the overhead mezzanine bridge and stairs are the only seating in the station. As is shown in the photos, this creates a somewhat barren look and appearance at the platforms, with the dull lighting above and the basic flat colors on the wall tiles. Despite its plain appearance, the station does receive its fair share of passengers, no doubt due to its proximity to Place des Festivals, Quartier des Spectacles to the west.
Prochaine station, Berry-UQAM.
This is the end of the first half of our journey on the Green Line. The trip continues in the second video from Berry-UQAM to Honoré-Beaugrand Station. Thank you for watching. Learn more about the Montreal Metro by visiting our website at metro.railfans.ca. Be sure to subscribe to Railfans Canada so you do not miss our future content. Merci d'avoir voyagé avec Railfans Canada. Bonne journée.